let's go ahead and jump into our semifinals. It is X-Wing versus Villainous. Do we need to take a quick break? Is this going to get heated?
Oh, this is gonna get very heated. Let me get some water in. I already finished one water bottle just from the quarterfinal, so let's see what happens in the semis.
Yep, same here. All right, here we go. Got to get psyched up for this.
All right, so which one do you want?
I don't know. You had Villainous and I had X-Wing. Do we
Let's
want to
reverse it. I'll take X-Wing.
Let's reverse it? Okay, go for it. X-Wing it is.
So the reason why I think X-Wing should move into the finals is the simple fact that me personally don't play tactical mini games. Not a big fan of those kind of games. Warhammer, anything of that. If someone says, "Hey, I got these X-Wing stuff. You want to try it or you want to play it?" I'm in, right then and there, because it gives you that dogfight feel in space. It's ability to get into tactical minis instead of, like you said earlier about the measuring. It gives you the pieces. Oh, I'm making a hook shot here to try to get behind you. I'm going to use this one and I'm going to follow it. And okay, look, I'm behind you. The way my spray pattern works, I can hit you when I attack.
Yep.
And so for that, there's just the ability to get into a tacticals mini game. Like if I try to go into Warhammer and play Warhammer and chuck all those dice and be like, okay, what's going on here? What did I do? This one, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I roll a couple dice, that's a hit. You blocked it, that's a hit. You didn't block it, that's a hit. I got 2 hits on you.
Yep.
Real simple. Real easy to get. The variability of it, because not only are you flying these ships, you also have your pilot cards who each have their own abilities in what they can do in the ship. They could pull certain stunts that make it so make you able to do stuff that you wouldn't be able to do if you had a different pilot in there. And so for that, to me, is why it's such a good game and why it's actually a 1 seed. That's why it's so high on BGG. Yeah. This is not just a 1 seed because we made it a 1 seed. This is the number 1 overall IP out of movies, TV, and radio for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. It's a solid pick for sure. And I remember seeing X-Wing's tournaments. They have now, I think, a 3rd printing or something now of
They're
X-Wings.
in the 2nd printing, and that's my big issue with it, is that Fantasy Flight, they're like, oh, don't worry about all the first, what are they called, first editions or first generation? I think the 2nd generation is what it's called now. Is don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about it. Buy all this new stuff, and that's one of the cons for me for X-Wing, is just be like,
the collectability.
I have everything for first generation. Can't you give me upgraded rules? Oh no, because we're re-releasing those with better rules, and it's like, really?
Yeah, that's upsetting. At least from our standpoint of not liking collectibles as much. Being a recovered,
I don't mind collectibles. I have an LCG over here that I play.
Right.
Which is going to probably come up, spoiler alert, in the next debate. Next week.
Really? Alright, yeah.
Not gonna lie, there's a lot of Arkham horror games, or Arkham, or H.P. Lovecraft games in the novel base, because they are that popular.
Yeah, they really are. We considered having, or like, only limiting 1 per IP, but I think we have a pretty good spread anyway.
It was because each game plays differently, too.
Yeah, they're very different games. And that's why we included X-Wing and Outer Rim. Very different games. Alright, Disney Villainous. Let me tell you why this needs to move on compared to X-Wing. So, first off, Villainous, solid game, fun, interactive, with every single character. I'm just going to quickly run down like the thing. Matching the theme, every character matches exactly how they would normally act. Of course, if you're like Isma, you're gonna have Kronk helping you out.
Oh, and here's my favorite thing about Isma, just for people to know.
Yeah.
It does have the wrong lever card.
Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, no, so matching the theme, everything works different. If you're Prince John or King John, you're trying to get the most power. If you're Jafar, you're trying to capture the genie and get the lamp and then put him under your spell. Everything is so different. Granted, it gives that learning curve, but if you like any of those villains, any of the 15 that they've made so far, then you're gonna like the game because you get to play as that villain. It's awesome. Whereas X-Wing, matching theme. Sure, it does the tactical skirmish like dogfight really well, but I mean, yeah, it's matching the theme of just that part of the movies.
And an argument against X-Wing is the Fantasy Flight, and these didn't do as well, but they did the Dungeons and Dragons skirmishers based off of the X-Wing mechanics. And you could have dragons fighting in the air, going against land troops and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I get it. I get what your point is, and I don't disagree with you. My vote personally is Villainous because I feel more the theme coming out of Villainous. If I'm playing Cruella de Vil, I want to get as many puppies as I can. If I'm playing Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, I want to get all those trinkets where I can get my voodoo pile going.
Sure.
Every character, their theme comes out.
Yeah.
And when it comes to X-Wing, you're playing the same game. You just get some powers depending upon your pilot.
Yeah, and you have different styles of battles, but really that variability of why it's matching every villain in the Disney universe versus Star Wars fight scene. Yeah, but meaningful choices though, that would go probably to X-Wing. They're both meaningful choices, but that tactical game, if you make one little move, that's iffy. So that would have to go to X-Wing.
Art and production, this is where for me it's a wash because the production's very nice in X-Wing. We talked about the pre-painted minis, but the artwork in Villainous is just, again, I'll pull out this P card here. It's just, how do you make black and white look that good?
I wanna say I argue for Villainous, and that's because they made an artistic rendering of the villains through the pawn, and the pawns are constructed really nicely, but they kept a single color. Go ahead and hold up like Pete, for example. I haven't actually gotten a chance to see this real one, but I think this is why I'm going to argue for art and production, is because they both have a good production. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that hat. Look at that hat.
Like, you know that's Pete, right? There's no doubt about it. And so they both have great pieces.
Fans, this
but
is
then
Mother Gothel, which we all know the flower.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that, just because their standee representation, you know who it goes to.
Replayability, assuming you win every time as the villain, 15 villains. 15 minimum games. X-Wing?
And not even just that. Even with with one character, I've won once. I've played this game many a times. I've only won once. Because I'm always trying new characters. I don't try the same character over and over, so I'm learning a whole new character to play. If you become proficient in it, the replayability might drop down. However, this is one of those games that you can, especially with Disney, you can expand this game to such high levels. And the way they've been doing it is that you have your classic, you have your, I guess, Silver Age, or
like 90s, 80s. Age. Yep.
So you have like your 80s, 90s, your 40s through 70s. You have your, and then you have your newer ones. Modern. So I mean, they still haven't got Frozen yet. We know that's coming.
Who would be the antagonist in that? Who would be the villain? There is no villain. In the first
one, it would be Hans. Not Hans.
No, the dude.
The prince. Yeah, the prince.
The prince. Okay.
Basically trying to trick what's her face to marry you.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now that you point out. But I mean, fan expansions can be made for Villainous. Sure, fan expansions can be made for X-Wing.
I mean,
but they're not gonna.
You can even add. I don't think they have yet. Not that I could think of off the top of my head. They haven't even added the Pixar cartoons to this yet. You have the whole Pixar that you can add to it.
Yep.
Because like Tangled, which is CGI, that's Disney production. Frozen, as we were just talking about, that's Disney production. So some Pixar movies you could put in. You could put what is that guy from Toy Story 3? Hugs a Lot.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, the bear. Yeah.
The bear. Or Sid from the first Toy Story.
Yep. Poor Sid. He's just misunderstood.
And so for replayability, I think it has to go to Villainous.
And then ease of play, probably X-Wing to get started. You only need 3 minis or a couple minis and learning how to play. Because there's a learning curve. But that still gives 3 to Villainous. So Villainous is moving on. All right. There we go. Villainous. All right.
Alright, so since I let you have Villainous, I want Horrified.
You understand the implications of me arguing for Harry Potter.
Oh, I understand the implications, and not to be putting the cart or the horse before the cart or the cart before the horse.
That's fine.
I honestly know which one's going to move on, just because if we just go, and you know what, I'm just going to go straight into the arguments based on our tiebreaker.
Matching theme.
Horrified brings that theme out like there is no tomorrow. I am someone who's very familiar with the Universal Monster movies.
Yeah.
I get that feel, and we touched upon it slightly in the other ones. But I mean, just bring up the Creature of the Black Lagoon, one of the first ones they tell you to play with. He's the only one that can go into water areas, so gets him set up to go after certain things easier. So it's like, okay, he's got to move 3 spaces, and he wants to get to the closest person. So now not only are we counting all the land spaces that he can go through, we also got to count the water spaces to find out which is the fastest way to get to someone.
Yeah,
so
he gets to jump across the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Whereas the pro for matching theme for Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle is the fact that you're going through each of the movies, which is cool, but it's the same game.
Yeah. Meaningful choices, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, I have to give this one the Horrified. As much as you get to build your deck and however you want.
Oh no, this is absolutely cooperative strategy. The choices that you make in Horrified are more impactful.
Okay, your ability allows you to do this.
Yep.
So we need you to go over there. We need to concentrate on this over here, but we need to save these people over here. There's a lot more meaningful choices in Horrified.
Yep. Agreed.
Art production, I, again, have to give it to Horrified. You have those minis that legitimately look like the creatures that you have. Yeah. They actually have artwork for it rather than screen caps, which is the problem with the artwork itself in Hogwarts.
Yep.
And the big thing about Hogwarts Battles production, the best thing in there is the little silver pieces for the Death Eaters, the Dark Marks.
Yeah, the little metal pewter pieces. Yeah, I agree.
To the point where in my version of Harry Potter, I actually had, or not actually had someone, they did it for my birthday, 3D print me the lightning bolts and the money tokens to put into the game instead of having the cardboard that starts wearing out.
So replayability. Hold on now. Before we go into this, let's think about the bare minimum amount of times you're going to play the game. If you play easy mode with Horrified, every monster you're playing it 3 different games.
2 games, yeah.
Hogwarts Battle, you're playing minimum 7, 1 for each of the movies.
I know, and I was going to give the replayability to Hogwarts Battle just for the simple fact that even if I'm playing Horrified and I'm facing all the creatures and I want to see something different, it's only 3 if I do it on easy. Yeah, I can ramp it up by adding monsters to make it a little harder and make my choices a little more difficult to make. Do I let that villager die and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But with Hogwarts Battle, you're literally going through a campaign, which is going to make it more possible to get to the table to play.
Right.
Because you want to finish that campaign.
Yep, you have that overarching story. So that replayability goes to Harry Potter, but ease of play?
Horrified is my Halloween go-to game now.
It is, yeah, I don't blame. Well, I mean, with how bad Harry Potter is, that would be my Halloween. Ease of play, though, I think we got to give it to Harry Potter, because deck building is still easier than that. It's not much easier, but it is.
Well, I was going to say the ease of play in this game, there's not much difference, honestly. I think the ease of play itself is a wash.
Yeah.
Because I could get someone who's young and is, say, an 8-year-old to play Harry Potter and teach them the deck building aspect. But I can also do the same thing with Horrified. It's such a simplified co-op game, and it does what other co-ops do, such as Pandemic. You do some actions, you pull some bad stuff, and it's the next person. They do some action, they pull some bad stuff, and so that type of co-op is such an easy game to get into because all you got to do is, okay, these are the choices you can do, and then we got to do something bad.
Right.
It's real simple. I think ease of play for both is a wash because they're both easy to get to the table.
Then Horrified it is.
Which means we have a Prospero Hall
battle. Yep, a Prospero Hall final.